Hey y'all, we are talking about the new L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation Sunscreen. This is an SPF 50 and they have 31 shades of this. They had a whole big display at Walmart. That's where I picked it up. I hadn't heard anything about this, so it was kind of odd, but you guys know I lurk in Walmart, all my drugstores, Ulta. It's my thing. I want to stay on top of it for you guys. And I love all these new releases of drugstore foundations. I am in it. So yeah, if you guys want to know if I like this, how it works, all that jazz, then I hope you subscribe and click that bell. And if you are new here, I use only natural lighting. I want you guys to see my skin as my skin. I don't want any artificial lights filtering my skin out. I want you to see my redness and my pores and how this foundation works. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop in. I seriously love how many drugstore foundations are coming out right now. So I seen this one, had to grab it. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation Sunscreen. What this reminds me of is the It Cosmetics CC Cream, the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover, which is a full coverage sunscreen. This one does not claim to be full coverage, but it is SPF 50 with antioxidants plus a concentrated serum. We'll see, that's what it really reminds me of, but with less coverage. I hadn't heard anything about this, and the only thing that I read was on L'Oreal's website, and it doesn't really say what it's supposed to be, kind of what the coverage is supposed to be. So they are marketing this strictly for the older woman. I think that is kind of crazy. They're taking out such a huge part of their profit, of their base, really. So we're trying this regardless. I could care less if it's for older people. I have lines on my forehead. I have smile lines. So we're trying this, guys. We are trying it. You guys know, no primer on the skin, and I don't typically like a serum foundation, but we're gonna try it. I normally like a thicker, more spreadable foundation, but again, I do love this one, and it is very thin. It has the exact same kind of bottle as the Maybelline, and I am just gonna put this all over the skin. I wish that they had at least in the description said this is a medium coverage. Whatever it may be, I kind of like to know that going in, but we will see. I put way too much on the forehead. I can definitely smell the sunscreen in this, which I don't mind. I like sunscreen in my foundations. Okay, I'm gonna start by spreading this on the forehead. The color looks pretty good right now. We will see if it oxidizes. Yeah, it smells almost exactly like the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover. All you really smell is sunscreen. So I'm fine with the smell. The shade looks really good so far. This is thin, but it's not super serum-y. A lot of times with a serum foundation, it's like they are really thin, but the consistency is just so different. Coverage looks pretty good, actually. It's, I would say, medium coverage right off the bat. So I am not mad at that, for sure. Let's go ahead and try to build it up. It's very glowy where it does have a lot of sunscreen in it. And let's build it up where we need it. I'm gonna put it right where my redness is the worst. Like usual, I'm gonna blend this out with my brush and then just run over the whole face with a sponge. Okay, I definitely think it is buildable. Oof, I'm liking this so far. Definitely has a nice dewy glow, which is way better for more mature skin. I know with my skin, the more matte my skin is, kind of all over as a whole, the older it makes me look. It accentuates my texture and my lines. So you guys know I much prefer a more glowy base, and then I will set where I need to set. So this is our starting point. I think the base is beautiful. I think it's a solid medium coverage. You can still see imperfections, but it's not bad. I really do like the way that it looks right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit for a while to see how much it's going to set on its own. I'm really watching the lines. I want to know if it starts to really cake or crease in my lines, because that is what this is specifically for. So I'm really going to be harsh on that. But yeah, this is our starting point. Like I said, I love the color. I think this color is almost perfect. So I'm going to give this a little bit, do the rest of the face, and then we will be back to talk about this and of course do a wear test. Okay lovelies, this is what we look like with the full face on. I've had this on a couple hours already. I did a tutorial and review with the new Morphe 18T palette. Beautiful, and has a mirror. So yeah, it's been a little bit, it's supposed to be for more mature skin and it's not supposed to settle into lines. I don't like the way this looks in my lines already. My smile lines look heavier and it's creased more than normal. I did have to set this. It was just too tacky to blend anything on top of, and at that I used my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil at first, and it was so tacky when you kind of patted it on, it would actually leave marks. So that became an issue, and I actually had to use a different powder and really blend it in to get those powder marks off. It was like once you stuck it, it literally stuck to the skin. Wherever it was, it left a mark. My forehead looked awful. With a powder brush, I kind of tap, 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 and it was like each time you tapped, it left distinct lines. So not a fan of that, but we are going to do a wear test, so I will see you guys way later on tonight. Okay guys, so I got a little bit of a late start today, and we only got 8 hours in on this. Let's talk about it. Like I said, I really had to set the face. I had to set it with 2 different powders because the first one, it was sticking to it. This was so sticky. So this is one that is going to have to be set. If not, your hair really likes to stick in it. It's not my favorite. On top of that, I hate the way my smile lines look. Like, I don't like it at all. It's really settled in. My forehead lines don't look bad. That looks good. But my smile lines do not look good at all. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it as well as I can see it, but they don't look good. And then my redness is really starting to peek through. You could see it before. This was only about a medium coverage, but then as I started caking powder on, I'm not a big fan of powder, but as I started to put powder on, it gave me a bit more coverage. It's peeking through a little bit there, and it's broken down just a smidge through here. But besides that, it still looks good. Would I recommend it? Not really. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look great. Honestly, I would still choose the Maybelline over this one. It's kind of the same thing. SPF 50, SPF 50. So if I had to choose between the two, it would still be the Maybelline. And this has a lot more coverage than this. This isn't claiming to have a lot of coverage though. But what this is claiming to be is a serum. It's supposed to be good for your skin. It's supposed to have all these good ingredients, antioxidants, and it's, you know, this and that. But when you actually read the ingredients, alcohol, denatured alcohol, which is a bad alcohol, is really high on the list. And that sets me back even more. This one is claiming to be good for your skin, SPF 50, great for mature skin, but yet denatured alcohol is really high on the list. So ultimately, it's going to be hurting your skin more than helping it. So I don't get into the ingredients of all of my foundations. I know denatured alcohol's in a lot of them, but when something is claiming to be a skincare product, that's when I really start to look. So for this one, it's a pass for me. Again, it is not awful. I don't think it's long wearing, and like I said, you're really gonna have to set it, and it's just not my kind of product. And you guys know I don't really like a serum foundation anyway, but I really like radiant foundations, and you know, this fell in, and I do think it is radiant until you have to set it heavily. Where I have reviewed so many new foundations and so many new foundations are coming out, I am going to do a whole dedicated video on which ones I like best, and I'm going to number them. So we're gonna wait and see what else comes out, then I will do that video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am running out of natural daylight, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I hope you subscribe and click that bell, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye guys.